question, it's, once again, I really think that this is why I'm always advocating national movement of local initiatives. It's at the local level that we have to work. And at the local level, there is one thing that you have to do: never say, this Muslim is representing Islam. That's wrong. No, the point is, it's a discussion knowing three things. First, what is your social status? Where do you come from? The social status is essential, because you can see that modest background would give you very conservative views and sometimes no understanding at all about religion.
So I'm going to interrupt you for a moment, because sometimes you have the feeling that there are some things that are more diverse when you talk to different people, and sometimes you have a feeling this is more general. For example, discussion about homosexuality, I always have the impression that if I talk about homosexuality with Muslims, I can say in general that they are not really positive towards homosexuality. Is that too general?
But yes, it's a general view, but I would say if you talk to all the practicing Catholic people, they would have exactly the same position. But they are maybe less, they won't speak, I don't think that you can generalize and say only the Muslims. I think that in the Dutch society, if you go for generalizing things, it's not going to work that way. I would say if you want to go for where we can work together and create this new way, first is to ask the people just to listen to their social status. The second thing is their culture, the way they perceive their culture. And the third dimension is understanding that even though they are Muslims, there are trends and currents within Islam. Listen to the people, which type of understanding they have of Islam. Because for some, the only way for me to be a good Muslim is to be less a Westerner. For others, it's not at all the same. So I would say you have to listen to what the people are telling you about themselves if you want to understand who they are, and never generalize. In fact, just do with them exactly what you want them to do with you. If I look at someone who is coming saying, I'm a Catholic Dutch, or I'm a Dutch with a Catholic background, I'm not going to reduce him or her to what I listen coming from Benedict XVI.
Let's take one example. If I look at building of mosques, I would say, we're doing two things wrong now. First of all, we marginalize mosques in the public space, always on the industrial central between two railway tracks or God knows where. I think that's wrong. I mean, one should accept the visibility of a new religious community and then to have mosques in visible places. That's where it starts. But then I think the question comes back to the Muslim communities. Why do you build mosques, that are very nostalgic? Would it be a good idea to reflect upon, if you want to convey the message, we're here going to stay here, we're part of this society, we're citizens, we have an engagement here, we have a sense of responsibility, then to build mosques that are part of the urban landscape. And I'm not talking about forbidding minarets or whatever, but simply to reflect upon a new idea of what it means to build mosques in the European cities. And now I feel that a lot of the architecture, as far as there is architecture, because a lot of mosques are hidden in garages or whatever, but I mean, is very much, is not reflecting that idea. So I would love to have a sort of discussion there.
I completely agree with this. The book I wrote, Radical Reform, is talking about art and all this, and saying that we have to take the European taste. We have to build mosques. And it has been done. It has been done in Oxford, where I am. It has been done in Germany. But in Germany, the mosque which was built in a Western European taste did not prevent the people from coming in front of the mosque, which was built as a European mosque, by people saying, look, this is Islamization of Europe. So they came in front of the mosque saying, oh, these people are quite smart. They know how to do it now. So look at this. No, but this is a very important point. The point that if you want, you are perceived, hidden agenda. So they are Europeanizing the architecture to colonize the minds. And I think that this is
the same criticism you're confronted with.
Exactly. Huh? I'm too much a European, and this is why I'm very dangerous.
Very suspicious. That's true. No, it reminds me very much, in that sense, there is a continuity in the history of migration. If you look at the Catholic immigrants that came to Protestant America in the 19th century, they were confronted with a lot of suspicion, with a deep sense of, you don't belong here. We are a Protestant country, and the Vatican is trying to undermine American freedom. And it took until 1960 to vote for a Catholic president, John F. Kennedy, who had to say during his electoral campaign every day that his first loyalty was not the Vatican, but America. But at the same time, these arch-conservative Irish Catholics who came to America, the arch-conservative Italian Catholics that came, very theocratic idea of the world. They had to reinvent what it meant for them to be a Catholic among people with other beliefs or with no belief, and they had to learn also immensely, how to be an American citizen and to have a new understanding of their religious practice. And I think something of the same I can see happening now in Europe. So we're living the birth pains, of an autochthonous Islam in Europe, where Muslims have to ask themselves a lot of new questions being part of this society. And I think we should argue about it. We need this conflictuous debate. Because
if it's
based on a common understanding of religious
freedom. Yes, but when it comes to
stop on this point, because this discussion, this conflictuous discussion we need, that will be the next step. Because we have now a short intermezzo. That's also the program that brings in.